Hello coin collectors and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel, and today we're going to look at some coins from the Cayman Islands. This is a proof set, so it has a few additional coins, but this is essentially the 1974 year set also. So it comes in this hard case. It says Cayman Islands on the front. Those of you with sharp eyes will see that this says minted at the Royal Canadian Mint. If you're ever looking for a sign of quality, that's a good one. Royal Canadian Mint. And if you're ever looking for silver, well, you know, so much silver is mined in Canada, and it's so clean, and they do such good work with silver, that if you're looking for silver, which I was here, Royal Canadian Mint is certainly the best, if not one of the best places possible to get silver from. So what do we have here? We have Cayman Islands, and they all have Queen Elizabeth II, because of course Cayman Islands is part of the United Kingdom. And so you see it says Cayman Islands here, Elizabeth II here, 1974. And you can tell it's a proof coin because of the difference in the buffing on here. And this is this version of the Queen, the second portrait of the Queen here. And she is it's the Arnold Machen portrait where she's wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara with the 2 points that stick up there. So let's take a look at this. So it comes in this case, and then of course when you're talking about Cayman Islands, you want to look at the back of Cayman Islands. And it's interesting because they just have some spectacular looking coins for everything except for the $5 coin here, which is just kind of a plain coin with a seal on it, but I guess it's not plain if you look really deep into it. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to actually pop these out. I like to be able to touch the coins and work through the coins. And so we have the $5, the $2, the $1, the 50-cent, the 25-cent, the 10-cent, the 5-cent, and the 1-cent. And those of you who've seen some of these coins, especially down in this area, you know exactly who was the designer or engraver of these coins. So we'll talk about that also. All right, so let's get this camera set up. Let's get these coins, and we're going to actually take them right out of the plastic so we can actually touch them and feel them. And let's start with the biggest one, and that is, in this year's proof set, they did a $5 coin. Now this coin is a $5 silver coin, and you can see again it's the Arnold Machen first portrait. If we tip it up on the edge, we can see, you better not see any copper there, huh? And we tip it over here, we see $5. And when we magnify it, we see that it says something on the back. And it says, "He hath founded it upon the seas." And that's the Cayman Islands. And I look up what's up here. This is really cool. There's a pineapple, there's a turtle, there's the lion, which is on the British coins. This is the lion with the claws, and he's not lying down, he's kind of stretching out, and the tail with the tufts on it, and 3 stars down here. Now, if you're going to buy these coins and buy them for the silver value, you're going to have to do something to determine the silver value. It's a little easier to do when it's outside of the wrapper like I have, because you can actually weigh it. So we know that this particular coin in its silver value, and we know what the weight is. So let's get the scale out. We'll put it right on there. And this coin, according to the books, is supposed to weigh, how much is it supposed to weigh? 35.21 grams. And if we look at Numista, Numista says 35.5, so that's pretty close. That's close enough in terms of silver value. What's the value of the coin itself? Well, that's interesting because the silver value, the bullion value right today for this coin is $20.34. So we know that it's close. We know that it's close enough, 35.22, because 35.5 is Numista's value, and whether or not they actually got it and weighed it, we don't know that. It's 0.925% silver, or what some people call sterling silver. And if you tip it up and see, it's just amazing how that portrait, and on this one it's so fine that you can actually see the prong coming out the back of the crown right here. All right, so that's our $5 with the Cayman coat of arms on the back. Let's take a look now. Now, Cayman Islands very early embraced these $2 coins, and not many people had the $2 coins. And this is in 1974 again, the Arnold Machin second portrait. Again, we tip it up. Again, we look at the back of it, and we see that it is a crane which is flying. And let's see if we can get a little bit more information on that by magnifying it. Again, this is a Stuart Devlin design, and when I said these might look familiar to you, many of you know about Stuart Devlin's coins, especially the ones with wildlife and fish and birds. We got a couple frogs down here in a lily pad. We have a bee here for the mint mark, and then we have the little sign down here. And this coin here will actually weigh this one too, because it's a relatively valuable coin. And if we weigh this one, we get the scale back to 0. This coin is supposed to weigh 29.45 grams. So let's see what we get here. Interesting, 30.11. What does that mean? Well, there is some difference in weights of these coins just when they get pressed and they take the outside of it off. So this one's a little more than it should be. The $5 was a little less than it should be. And these coins generally even out in the collection. So there is the and I called it a crane, but it's actually a great blue heron that is on there. It looks similar to a crane, but it's a great blue heron. And there's some, of course, some fields and cattails in there. All right, what's next? Well, what's next is the dollar coin. And the dollar coin, again, we're going to weigh that. Oh, and I should tell you that the $2 coin, just in silver value alone, is worth about $17. So if you get some of these Cayman coins in there in silver, they are very valuable. Here's the $1 coin, and again, we'll look at the weight on that. This one says 18.2 grams, and it's supposed to weigh somewhere in a range of 18 grams. So 18.2, again, a little heavy, but of course it could be a little scale difference, 18.19. What's on the dollar coin? Well, on the back of the dollar coin we have this, and this is not an animal, except way up at the top. And we see that we have a bee with some flowers, and guess what we have here? We have another bee down there for the mint mark, and then the other mint sign. So this is a Cayman Islands mint sign, and this one is not a Stuart Devlin design. It's a poinciana flower, and I don't even have an attribution to who designed this particular coin. I don't know the engraver. It was not listed. So if somebody knows who engraved the $1 coin, that would be great. I'd love to know it. Next, we have the 50-cent coin. Again, it's silver, and again, you can tell that it's Stuart Devlin. So let's get this light so you can see it right. Oh my goodness. And so sometimes now when you see a Stuart Devlin design, you can just tell by looking at it. Again, it has the bee, has the mint sign on there, it has the fish going back and forth. And the 50-cent coin is silver also. So when we take this set all together, we get between $45 and $50, maybe a little bit more depending on the silver price, just in silver value alone. So the 50-cent coin is worth about $6 because it's 10.3 grams, and we're not going to weigh this one. And again, they all have the Arnold Machin portrait on the front. Now, Stuart Devlin, what else did he do? Well, this is the one that many people know him for. They just love this particular one. But there's one other one that you'll recognize too, and this is of course, the 20-cent Australia, the platypus coin, and we see the SD right there for Stuart Devlin, and let's see what year this is from. This is from 2001, the Ian Rank Broadley. And it's funny because Queen Elizabeth wore the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and then she went away from it for the Raphael David McCloof portrait, and then she came back again with the Ian Rank Broadley, and there it is again, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, the 2001 Australia 20-cent coin, and it's the platypus. And here's the most famous for collectors, and that is the swordfish. And this again, Stuart Devlin, the swordfish. And this one, I don't know if you know where this one's from, but it's from Singapore. This is the 20-cent from 1972. And finally, another Stuart Devlin is this one. And we'll get to that because that's part of this set. So here we are with the proof front, the 25, and then this one, does this remind you a little bit of that Canadian coin with the clipper on it, the 10-cent Canadian coin? And it is a clipper, and it is Stuart Devlin again. This 25-cent coin again is silver. So we have 5 coins in this collection so far that are silver. We have this 25-cent coin is not silver. What am I saying? We have 4 coins that are silver. This one is a copper nickel, and if you put it next to the silver ones, you can you kind of see the difference? Not really. Let's tip them over. Yes, you can. A little bit there, you can see that this is a copper nickel coin. But if you have any doubts about it, you can just look it up. So Stuart Devlin, this copper nickel coin, of course, this one doesn't have much of a value, and it's a schooner, the Kirk B, sailing from left to right. Next, we have the match for this one. So let's put that one out there and get this light better. Sometimes the light just drives you crazy. So this is a 10-cent Cayman Islands circulating coin. And again, it's copper nickel. It shows the turtle or tortoise coming up to the top, and there's an SD there, and you can see all the shell and the design and the tail and the flippers. And if you look at, this is a nice one, because if you ever want to look at the difference between a proof coin and a circulating coin, this will show you just the incredible detail difference here. And so when we look at this coin, we see how it just kind of bounces right off the coin as a proof coin, whereas this one, it's a nice coin, and it probably looked really good, but it wasn't made as a proof coin. And if we go to the front, it's going to be even more evident because they don't do the different shine on the front like they do on this one, so it doesn't pop off the coin quite as well. So this is, of course, the copper nickel 10-cent. Then we have 2 more to go. The 5-cent. And what's that on there? That's pretty cool, huh? And what does it say up here? Again, we have the SD, so we know it's Stuart Devlin. This reminds me a little bit of the lobsters from Maine, and it actually is a kind of related. It's a Cayman crayfish, or they say down south sometimes crawfish. And so these are delicacies. And this coin is a copper nickel coin, weighs 2.2 grams. Again, same proof front. And then finally, we have this one, and it's a little coin, but it is simply stunning how it's set up. So the SD back here, we have the bird, we have the leaves, we have the tree, they have the one over here. So this is a 1 cent coin, and this particular coin is bronze, and it's a little hard to see in this light, but it is a shiny, bright brown bronze. Let's put it on top of the and look at that. When it's on top, you can see just the difference between the $5 and the 1 cent. And look, the tree actually, it has little bark-like things on it, and it's just a fine thing. So again, Stuart Devlin did most of these coins. There's the 10, there's the 5, there's the 25, there's the 50, there's the $1, and here comes the $2, and of course way down at the bottom we have the $5. That's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and put any comments you have in the comments section.